Okay, I have a guest, my little son, Billy Willie, who played in the Wednesday Night Poker League with me, and he did really, really well, so he's going to take you through a few hands that he played in the tournament. Night Poker League, start with 10,000. First break, I'm at 92.50. No good hands, no bad hands, just hands. Willie wanted my gigantic pot. What do you got at first break?
15,000.
Yeah, very nice.
So, the hand I played early in the tournament, the blinds were 50 and 100. I got King Queen offsuit on the button and it folded around to me. So I raised a 300 and the big blind defended. The flop was Queen Jack 9 with 2 clubs. So he checked to me and I bet 500. He
Standard
called.
continuation.
Turn was the deuce of hearts. It was a complete brick. He checked to me, I bet 700 and he called. And then the river was...
How much is in the pot in the river?
3,000.
Okay.
Which is a big pot for this early in the tournament.
Yeah, at 5,100, that's pretty big.
The river was the 9 of clubs, completing the flush, full houses, all that. So he led into me for 1,800, and I raised him to 4,500, and he ended up folding. The reason I did this is pretty much because his range is capped at a flush, and that's the best hand he can show up with. And my range is completely uncapped. I can have quad 9s and pocket queens,
full
pocket
houses,
jacks,
flushes, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really a good play. It really helped Billy, propelled Billy to doing much, much better in the tournament. In fact, it was so good that we did a detailed hand analysis of this on another video. And if you guys will look right up here, you'll see a link to that video we did. So take a look if you want to do find out more about the hand, and we give the ranges and just a much, much more detailed explanation of that hand. Anyhow, big hand for Billy. Wednesday Night Poker League sucks. Let me just say that. Second break, I have 8,000. I got sucked out on big time. Ace Jack for me, 10 Jack for him. Of course, he hits a straight or whatever. All right, how much you got?
32,000.
And you should have a lot more inside there, man.
So he got up,
All in.
twisted it this way. Another guy came in.
All in.
I'm like, all right.
I had Ace King.
I heard that. I was like,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Flop
No,
is
before
King
that guy came
4,
in, I had 400 more.
6.
I bought him 400 more. I
Turn
got
Queen,
down to
River
200.
Queen.
Oh,
Then another guy
that's
came
horrible.
in and sat down.
Yep.
All right, but you're doing well. Good job.
Bam, bam.
So late at the final table, there was 3 of us left. I got to another big hand.
With our buddy Stone. It's Stone. Oh, it's always Stone. Stone, you're in every one of them. Get out of my video, man.
Stone, at this point, had more chips than both of us. He had 200,000. I think I had like 100,000.
And Ryan Herdsman was the third player.
He had less than both of us.
He had less, right.
So blinds were 3 and 6,000. I'm in the big blind, and Stone raises from the button to 17,000, I think. So Ryan folded and I called.
What did you have?
9-10 of spades.
Okay.
So I defended with that. 33,000 going to the flop. The flop was Queen 4. So pretty dry. So I checked and Stone checked behind. The turn was...
So when he checks behind, that probably tells you a lot. He can't be that strong.
Yeah, he doesn't have a queen. Unless he gets tricky. But so the turn was a 9. So I made a pair. I was pretty sure I was ahead, but I checked to try to induce a bet from Stone, which he did not do. He checked behind. So the river was the worst card. It was an ace. So I know Stone, and I know he's going to bet on this ace every single time.
Stone is very, very aggressive.
So I checked, and he, of course, bet 20,000 into 33 or something like that. And I thought about it for a while, and he actually said something. He said something trying to get me to make a call, which I know he...
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, so I ended up thinking for a while and thought he had enough bluffs to where I could make this call. And I made the call, and he showed King Jack. So,
So you snapped off Stone's
yeah,
bluff.
so that was a pretty big hand.
Yeah, with only 3 players, because you
Yeah.
probably flipped positions where he was ahead 200,000,
close.
100,000. Now you probably are switched up on him.
Yeah. So we got down to heads up, me versus Stone,
Stone again.
and I had a massive chip lead. And the first hand, we get it all in. Stone has pocket aces
Oh my
against my
gosh.
king jack suited. So doubled him up the first hand. And then,
But you still had a good lead, right? You
Yeah, I
were
still
still
had a
2 to
good
1
lead, something
after
like
that? Okay.
Yeah. So then we ended up playing for a while. It was a pretty good matchup, actually.
Standard
It went
hands,
back and
though,
forth.
nothing too huge, right?
Until final hand, I kind of chipped him down a little bit, and then I was in the big blind with ace jack offsuit, and he shoved all in for like 100,000.
From
So
the small blind.
yeah, so I snap called, and he showed queen deuce suited.
Ouch.
So the board bricked out. He didn't hit, so ace high won, and that was the tournament.
All right, Billy Willie, winner of the Wednesday Night Poker League tonight. Excellent job, son. So, was there a single hand that was just did it for you, or what?
There was a bunch of little ones.
Bunch of little ones.
Yeah.
I heard
Bunch of
people.
good signs.
I heard people saying that they thought you played very, very well, which of course you
I
always
hope
do.
so.
So, yeah, good job. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Stone. Congratulations, second place. Stone has been kicking butt.
That was,
how many
that was a good heads up.
how many final tables you got in the last 8 weeks? Probably 6.
5.
Yeah, something like that. Good job, guys. Oh, so Billy and Stone went heads up. But Stone got second, Billy got first. Last time I went heads up against Stone, it was just an avalanche against me. I need to take lessons from my son so I don't get killed by Stone. Who took me out again? Last 4 times I got taken out, it's been Stone. So for people not familiar with our league, Billy, tell them why it's important that you won this tournament.
Well, first of all, I won a tournament, which is always good to do.
How much money did you win?
Like 700 in total after with last man and all that. So
Excellent.
another thing is I qualified for the Tournament of Champions.
Tournament Champions is huge. So in our league, we have a year-end tournament that is only available if you win a tournament. It's a $100 tournament, but we add a $2,500 to the pot at the end. So our last tournament of the year is really, really large for a $100 tournament. So now that you've won a tournament, you are qualified. Old Pops is already qualified earlier in the year, so we'll be going maybe heads up at the Tournament of Champions. So who knows? All right, great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations for winning. That's really a great accomplishment. So Billy was not the only one who was successful. As he was on Wednesday Night Poker League, I went up and played a session at WinStar on Saturday. Played for about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours and won $700. So here are some nice hands from that session. So on the very first hand, I'm under the gun with Queen of Spades, Jack of Clubs. I have $500. I raised to 20. The cutoff, the big blind, and the small blind all call. So with $80 in the pot, the flop comes Queen of Clubs, 5 of Diamonds, 4 of Diamonds. It's 2 checks to me. I make it 60, and only the cutoff calls. So the turn, 200 in the pot, is the 7 of Spades. I bet 135, and the cutoff folds. So really good start on the first hand. Already won close to $150. So the next interesting hand, I was under the gun +1 with Jack of Hearts, 9 of Hearts. I have about $570. There was a limper. I raised to 25. The middle position cut off and button all call. So on the flop, there's $105 in the pot, and the flop comes 5 of Clubs, 7 of Spades, 8 of Diamonds. I bet 60, and only the button calls, and the button was a good player. The turn with 225 in the pot was the Queen of Clubs. It went check, check. The river, 225 in the pot, beautiful. 10 of Spades, I have the nuts. I lead out for 125, and the button goes in the tank. Eventually he makes the fold, unfortunately, and he says, I must have pocket jacks. So the next 2 hands I am particularly fond of because I've caught quite a bit of grief or flack or whatever you want to call it on this vlog for not value betting like a flush or a straight when it's a paired board, and on both of these hands I do a good job of getting value when I didn't have the nuts. So again, I'm under the gun +1. I had a lot of hands under the gun +1 when I played, getting pretty decent cards. I had king of diamonds, 10 of hearts. I have $640. There was one limper. I raised to 20, and the big blind and the under the gun call. So on the flop, there's $60, and the flop comes ace of clubs, jack of hearts, 8 of diamonds, and we all check around. The turn, queen of hearts gives me the nuts, and we all check around again. On the river, there's 60 in the pot. It's another jack, so paired board, jack of diamonds. George, who's a regular at WinStar, leads out for 30. He's pretty aggressive. In fact, that's why I checked the turn, because I figured these guys would take a stab. There's a man next to him from India, real nice guy. He called, and then I wanted to make it look very bluffy, so I raised to 200. George snap folded, and the Indian guy thought a while. He talked to me for a minute. What do you have? And eventually he makes the call. And he had a third jack. He had jack 6, and I had the straight. And again, I learned from my previous vlogs on what you guys had told me, and got some value with a hand that wasn't the nuts on a paired board, but I figured I was good after they were check on both the flop and the turn. Okay, on this next hand, I have jack of clubs, 7 of clubs in the small blind. I have 800. There are 3 limpers to me. I decided to make the call, and the big blind checked it. So on the flop, there's 25 in the pot, and the flop comes ace of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. So I have a flush draw and a gutter ball. We check to the button, who bets 20. I make the call, and the middle position player made the call. So on the turn, there's 85 in the pot, complete brick, the 2 of hearts. We check to the button again. He bets very small, 35. I call, and the middle position player folded this time. So on the river, there's 155 in the pot, and the river, 10 of spades. Wow, great card. I now have the second nuts. I check it though, expecting them to bet. He does bet $50. I raise to 125. He makes the call. I show the straight, and he mucks his cards. And finally, the last hand I'll go over. I have pocket 6s in the small blind. I have $950 in front of me. The under the gun +1 makes it 20. A middle position player calls, and I make the call. So with $65 in the pot, the flop comes 5 of diamonds, 7 of clubs, 8 of clubs, and we all check around. On the turn, 65 in the pot is the 2 of hearts. I check. The under the gun +1 makes it 45. The middle position player folds, and I make the call. On the river, 155 in the pot is the 9 of diamonds, making me a straight. I check because he has not very much money back. I figure he'll shove, and he did. He shoved for $90. I made the call, and actually my 6s were good anyways. He had shoved with just jack queen, didn't even have a pair. So anyhow, I won that pot and stacked him off. So I didn't have any big losing hands. I had your standard losing hands where you'll raise pre-flop, miss the flop, maybe make a continuation bet. When somebody else continues, you can't continue. But I didn't have any big losses, and ended up winning $700 in, I think it was 2.5 hours. So pretty good session for me. Okay, weight loss challenge. I'm down to 185.5 now. I started at 197.5, so I'm doing really well. Lost 12 pounds. I still have 3 weeks to go to the World Series of Poker, and I will reach my 180 goal. The MrBill Poker Math class, June 2nd, it now has moved to 5 p.m. instead of 3 p.m., so to accommodate some more people that wanted to get it moved, and the people that were coming anyways can still do it. So I should have, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 students for that, I'm hoping. It's only 10 days away. I'm looking forward to teaching and meeting with people, and then having a game afterwards, all that kind of fun stuff. Once again, congratulations to my son for winning Wednesday Night Poker League. For a 20-year-old kid, Billy, you are one heck of a good player for that age. Keep learning. keep studying. You'll only get better. And once again, as always, thank you guys for watching and commenting and doing the things that contribute to this vlog. If you want to send me a note or something like that, my P.O. box is in the notes, and I think I got it here on the page too. So once again, thank you guys. I'll see you all next week.